Okay, today we are playing a game on VoD. We are playing Zarya the entire way through, and there's no actual SR for this game because it took place during placements, but it's somewhere in the Platinum range, probably. Our current team composition is D.Va, Zarya, Genji, Pharah, Mercy, and Zenyatta, so very average. We have a Mercy, that's the important thing. Pharah's pretty good at attacking VoD, at least for the first checkpoint. So, you know, there's that. It's all fine. There's not much to say about it. So we're just going to start the game. So we're going to get a little bullied by a Symmetra right out of the gate, but we also managed to get some free charge off of it as well, which is nice, though half of it is degraded by the time we actually get up to the gate. So our D.Va is an absolute god, by the way, for this maneuver, because, like, this is a great benefit to us, what she does right here. So Reinhardt's standing too far up, because he's standing all the way out here, which he's not allowed to do, because you can get punished for this. He's actually going to get punished by D.Va, because D.Va sees he's too far up, and pushes him into the corner so he can't get back in the gate again. It's really surprising the D.Va actually managed to catch him for that, because it's a pretty unusual way to get punished for it, but the D.Va is in fact a god, as it turns out, for pulling that one off. So they've lost their main tank right at the start, which is not great, especially when they have a Symmetra on their team, right? Because they don't really want to start losing ground immediately when they have a Symmetra, so Symmetra also does. She gets res by Mercy, but by this point, they're starting to lose ground. However, Symmetra has managed to microwave Genji to death. It's not the end of the world, though, because their McCree is also dead right now. But Symmetra's also managed to kill our Pharah. So even though Reinhardt got punished really badly at the start of it, we've started losing some momentum, but we have at least gotten through the choke point. If you're in this kind of position, this is not so bad, because it's a lot easier to push in from this area than it is to push in through the gate. So, now there's a Mei, though. Look at that. Out of nowhere, managed to kill Genji again. So, if we didn't lose all of our DPS repeatedly in Genji's case, we would have probably caught the checkpoint already. So, it's really unfortunate, because we got given a pretty sick opportunity right there. So, also, now we know they have a Mei, so we have to really be watching, because we could have actually bubbled him right there, because we did actually get the opportunity to do so. As Zarya, your job is making sure people don't die for things that they shouldn't really die to anyway. Roadhog hooks somebody, they don't die. Not that you shouldn't die to Roadhog's hook, because part of it's Roadhog actually hitting you, but you get what I mean. You can fix other people's mistakes, as Zarya is the point. So, somebody gets hooked, you can save that person. Somebody gets flashbanged, you save that person. Someone's getting frozen by Mei, you save that person. You have to actually, like, watch for those things to stop that from happening. Not that we knew they had a Mei until recently, but now we know. So, thing with Zarya is the issue most people have with using their bubbles as Zarya is they tend to use them predictively. And that's bad, because what usually happens is the person isn't shooting at them yet, but you're like, oh, they're gonna shoot at them. And what tends to happen is they just don't shoot at them at all, because part of it is that, like, if they haven't started shooting already, it's easy to go, oh, wait, okay, now I'm gonna start shooting. What you usually want to do is use them more reactively and wait until either you start taking damage or the other person starts taking damage, because then it's always gonna get you at least some charge, right? Because the person isn't gonna react the frame the bubble appears on the person. They're gonna shoot them at least a little bit, so you're gonna get some charge always. But it's harder to stop yourself shooting once you've already started. And you always get some charge this way. Whereas if you use it before the person has started taking any damage, usually you don't get any charge at all. And Zarya is sort of based entirely around getting charge, because if she has low charge, she does no damage, so she's not actually able to create any space, because Zarya actually needs to do damage to create space. And it also means your ult charge is way slower, and Zarya's ult is pretty strong, you know? With yourself, it's a little bit easier, because you can always bubble yourself and walk into somebody else's line of sight. Or line of fire, I should say. But with other people, it's usually better to wait until they start taking damage, because then you're always going to get some, at the very least, which is better than none, like we got right there off of that Pharah. So, Mei, we actually managed to kill Mei, which is really astonishing, right? But, oh no, now she's alive again. But then we actually managed to kill Mercy in Valkyrie. Wow, while we don't even actually have that much charge, either. But she's got Discord Orb on her as well. Pretty good tracking, actually. So, Mercy's probably really upset about that one. Now we're being pushed in the corner, but it's alright. We've got a bunch of ultimates. McCree's using Deadeye, only gets one person. And we've got a lot of ultimates we can throw at this objective right now. Genji used Dragon Blade. We're getting frozen by Mei, but we actually managed to kill her before we get frozen. But oh no, we actually started losing people over here as well. Mei's ult is really strong, so it's not that surprising that it ended up killing off that much tempo. But it is very depressing also because we threw like 4 ultimates at that objective and we didn't actually get it, which you would typically expect to get the objective. So we do at least have Graviton, so there's that. I don't know what other ultimates we have. Push tab more often. This is a general thing for all heroes, but where you should push tab more often, because knowing who has their ultimates is important information, because that affects how you play. But especially for someone like Zarya, or Ana, or Mercy, how other people having their ultimate affects how you use your ultimate or abilities, so just push tab more often. I don't think Pharah used Barrage, so I think we still have that, which is sort of the important one as far as Graviton combos go. You know, it's the classic. You know, what always depresses me is when the Zarya uses Graviton, and then the soldier uses Tac Visor, right? Because that's just, like, the most inefficient use of company resources ever. The entire point of using Tac Visor is it gives you an aimbot. If they're in Graviton, they aren't fucking moving, so why are you using the aimbot for them? That just really upsets me when people do that. It is depressingly common as well. So there, Reinhardt's made another mistake and gotten himself picked off for free right at the start of the fight. Now, their Roadhog's dead, and there's a bunch of people in the Graviton. These turrets are here, microwaving us the entire time, but who cares? And then Pharah's like, man, fuck Mei, right? Understandable reaction. So we got it that time, helped out by their Reinhardt getting himself picked off, but then we caught everybody in the Graviton as well, which is usually a bad sign. If the Mercy gets caught in the Graviton, it's pretty bad. By the way, you are allowed to ult, like, only 1 or 2 people as Zarya if you're gonna get the Mercy who's using Valkyrie, because killing Mercy in the Valkyrie is really important. Maybe not... That will probably not be true once Mercy's ult actually gets nerfed in the near future, but at present, it is definitely worth ulting only 1 or 2 people to catch the Mercy in Valkyrie, because, god, Valkyrie is stronger than Graviton as an ultimate, like, not by much, because it's like, Graviton's like a 9 out of 10, but Valkyrie's a 10 out of 10, you know? You wouldn't always do it. You wouldn't always do it if you're waiting to combo with somebody, but honestly, like, fuck Mercy if she's using Valkyrie. If you're playing Reinhardt and you can solo ult the Mercy, that's worth it. If you're playing Soldier and you solo ult the Mercy and Valkyrie, that's worth it. Even Genji can kill the Mercy out of Valkyrie because the blade is a very wide area. Worth trading that just for the Mercy also. Man, Mercy's such a stupid hero, isn't she? She's, like, always been an issue, but, like, this is the most issue Mercy has ever been. Thank goodness she's finally getting nerfed. So, we do preemptively bubble the Genji over there, but he's using Dragon Blade, so we really don't want him to get CC'd more than anything else, or crowd controlled. And we know they have some crowd control on their team, so if you're gonna just, like, make sure somebody who's using their ultimate doesn't get fucked by crowd control, that's also fine. So, we had a lot of charge for quite a long time, so we've managed to build up most of another ultimate, which is great. And now we're at 100 ult charge, but oh no, we've been earth-shattered. We don't have a very consistent method of blocking earth shatter, so that's just kind of gonna happen versus a Reinhardt. We're, like, the only thing on our team that can stop an Earth Shatter, but I would not consider a Zarya bubble to be an especially consistent method of stopping it, so that's just gonna happen sometimes, unfortunately. I don't with the way the game usually goes now, I don't think that, like, if the enemy team has a Reinhardt, you have to switch to a Reinhardt, which is how it used to be. Because most teams these days are a little bit more mobile and spread out, so it's hard to get, like, a game-changing Earth Shatter. It used to be a lot more important, though, to have something that could consistently block Earth Shatter. So we almost have Graviton, which is great. Genji's already used Dragon Blade, so we won't be comboing with that, but we still have a Pharah, so there's always that one. You know, the classic. Their mate was apparently, like, super behind us right now. Like, did we even see her? She does kill somebody behind us, so... And we don't notice that, because she does actually kill the Genji. And if there's a Mei behind us, we as Zarya are interested in that, but we didn't seem to notice. Granted, it's a weird fucking place for the Mei to be at, so we end up holding Graviton during this fight because we actually start winning it drastically enough that we probably don't need it. Mostly because their Mercy dies right at the start, and then somebody else dies, so they have very limited ways of recovering. So no need to use Graviton, we wisely save it. However, Pharah has just used her ultimate, so there goes the combo. But most of these people came back out of the teleporter, so damn. Roadhog's like, oh, I did it. I didn't fall in the pit. Even though he's gonna die, like, immediately afterwards. But he's like, oh, easy. Oh, no. Most of those people actually came out of the teleporter, so... Pharah killing all those people effectively also killed the teleporter at the same time. That's not, like, literally what happened, but it is essentially what happened. Here they come again. Only a couple of people out of the teleporter. We do still have Graviton, but there's never really a great opportunity to use it during this fight, so we still don't use it. And now, Roadhog's decided he'd rather we don't keep fighting. And Roadhog's ult, the Rudy Tooty Whiz Bang Shooty, is that way, where if he decides that he doesn't want you to fight anymore, you don't get to fight. So, we try really hard to push this last point right here, but we've actually... It's not gonna work, because we're so close to their spawn, and we're losing momentum, it's not gonna work. We kill ourselves to regroup with the team faster. We needed to do that like 10 seconds earlier, because we had already lost the fight by that point, but we stayed on it a little bit longer. And now we don't really have enough time to get back, because we're playing Zarya, so we have no mobility. And then that happens, which also doesn't help, but like, we needed to do this like 10 seconds earlier, so that we could actually like get back. Like, we still get back in time, but it's pretty fucking tight. And we super whiff anyway, so, you know, what can you do other than not whiff? There's always that, but we needed to kill ourselves like 10 seconds earlier. We're right next to their spawn, so if we start losing momentum, we're gonna keep losing momentum until we stall out completely. So you need to just recognize that, yeah, it's not gonna work, and kill yourself as soon as possible, because if we can get back there like 10 seconds earlier, that maybe goes completely differently, because we aren't quite so rushed trying to get in there. But, you know, happen in an alternate timeline. We'll never know. You know what I wish? This is probably asking too much for an emote, but I'm just looking at this emote that's happening right here. It would be awesome if the dog's breed changed based on the skin you were using when you used the emote. You know, like Ganymede changes with Bastion's skin. That would be sick. Perhaps asking too much out of an emote, but come on. That would be amazing. So, we're still playing Zarya. We've got an Orisa with us right now. And a Junkrat and a Bastion. So, you know, we're a very turtley team right now. And if we start losing momentum, though, or if they start gaining momentum and, like, kill Bastion, we're gonna be really upset, as it tends to be with the Bastion team. So this is the thing with Zarya, with, like, Shift. Yeah, you can walk in somebody else's line of sight and just take a bunch of extra damage, but using other people you can't quite rely on. But, hey, you can save a person. Junkrat deserved to die for that because he positioned badly, but Zarya can fix other people's mistakes. That's why Zarya is one of the better heroes to solo carry with, especially in lower SRs. She does a fucking lot of damage, to put it in academic terms. Assuming she's got high charge, this is the caveat, you'd have to be good at Zarya, but if she's got high charge, she does an incredibly high amount of damage. She can fix other people's mistakes, which are very common, especially in low SR, and her ultimate will carry even the most uncoordinated of teams, provided you use it correctly. This is why she's a very good hero to carry with, because she's not one of the heroes people always think of in terms of, like, solo carrying, but Zarya is really good at solo carrying if you're good at Zarya. Like, look how much damage we do when we're at 100% charge. We just can start going out there and bullying people around. And, you know, this is basically how the Zarya flowchart goes. Am I high charge yet? Am I high charge? No. Play passively until high charge. Am I high charge? Yes. Bully enemy team. And we already almost have a Graviton, only slightly over a minute into the round, which is pretty good, because it's a very slow charging ultimate. Which, you know, it's a very strong ultimate, so fair enough. So, somebody is behind us back now. It is our obligation as Zarya to be the one that goes back to try and resolve that kind of thing. This is the thing with Zarya, is you are the off-tank on the team. Zarya is like one of the few tanks in the game that, like, cannot main tank under any other circumstance. So because you're the off-tank, you are the one that has to go back and deal with the point if it's being contested. That might seem obvious, but you'd be surprised with a lot of people. You know, they're like, I have in fact been playing Reinhardt before, and the Zarya has gone, why didn't you go back to the point? I'm like, it's not my job to go get the Genji off of the point. It's my job to stand in the choke point. But, you know, whatever, Zarya, if you say so, I'll go get him as Reinhardt. You stand here in the choke point and stop them from walking through. Anyway, I'm not salty. I don't know what you're talking about. So, the reason I went back was because we bubbled that Mercy for no reason at all, basically, because she was completely out of the way, and nothing was happening to her, so it ended up meaning nothing. We used this Graviton, like, we've already won this fight. We've already killed both their DPS, Bastion's using tank, we don't need to use this Graviton. If we were going to use it, it would be better to use it now, so we can also catch the Mercy out of the air. But we almost just straight up kill her anyway, actually. Not quite, because it's hard to kill a Mercy and Valkyrie, but we didn't need to use the Graviton right there. We had already won that fight, because they had lost both of their DPS. But, as we can see, it essentially makes no difference, because we keep winning this fight anyway. But Graviton is not the kind of ultimate you want to waste. In general, if you've like already won the team fight, you don't want to use your ultimate, because what's the point? It's not a great use of company resources if you've already won the fight, but anyway. So we're still high charge, important stuff playing Zarya, saying high charge. We are being mad greedy right now. We use this bubble way early. Nothing actually is happening to us yet, so we end up getting no charge off of it. Genji's coming. They're using a lot of ultimates right now. Genji's doing this, but Soldier's also using Tac Visor. Fortunately, Zenyatta gets to 2 for 1 with his ultimate, because he used Transcendence just for Genji, but then Soldier did it as well, so Zenyatta's like, nice, 2 for 1. Unfortunately, Tyre kills Orisa and Zenyatta. And Mercy's already used Valkyrie, so she can't fix that. And their Mercy has Valkyrie again. So, she can fix what happened over there. We're fucked. There's nothing we can do. If we didn't use the Graviton in the last fight, this maybe goes better, because we don't lose the fight by much, honestly, all things considered. If we still had the Graviton that we didn't need to use earlier, maybe this goes better. Well, it probably would, because Graviton is that kind of ultimate. Generally, I say we don't know, because it happened in an alternate timeline, but Graviton is the kind of ultimate where, if you didn't use it in one fight, you probably won the next fight, because it is, like, that strong as far as ultimates go. But that's done. We're not gonna get back there to try it. They're still going to try, but they shouldn't be, and now we're like, I know, we're like, oh, they're still going, I should go. No, it's gone. It's gone. They shouldn't have done that. So, we lose that checkpoint. We still have Graviton, and we've got the entire second checkpoint to work with, so that's fine. And Eichenwald is this way where people can stall out at multiple points during the track, right? It's very unique in this regard, because if you think about, like, King's Row and Numbani, you can stall out on the first and third checkpoint. You can't really stall out on the second checkpoint on those maps because they're so easy to take. Whereas Eichenwald, you can stall out on the first point, the second point, and the third point. The second checkpoint even has like 2 places you can stall out. which is incredible, because you can stall out here, and you can stall out on the bridge as well. Eichenwald is very unique in that regard. It's one of those maps that is very unlikely to go multiple rounds, because there's just so many places that you can stall out compared to other maps. Because like Numbani, you stall at the first checkpoint, or the very last, like the last checkpoint. That's it. There's nowhere else. Numbani tends to go multiple rounds. King's Row less so, because you can kind of stall out in the street phase. I think I've played like 5 games on Eichenwald that have ever gone more than 2 rounds. There's just too many places you can get stuck on. Even, like, honestly, if you get the first checkpoint on Eichenwald, I'm like, nice. Smashing success, honestly. So, Genji's coming in with Dragon Blade, and accomplished exactly nothing. Zarya is, like, better against Dragon Blade than people think she is, because, like, Genji can't very neatly take the bubble off of somebody if he's using Dragon Blade, right? Like, he's gonna waste at least 1 swing. And that can very easily be the difference between the Mercy dying and the Mercy living. Because typically what happens is, Genji dashes up to Mercy, he pulls out the Dragon Blade, Mercy GA's away, but Genji follows her. So if you then bubble the Mercy after she's GA'd, she's got enough time to GA again in most cases, which is enough to get her away, because Genji can't dash again unless he kills somebody. Zarya is, like, surprisingly good at fucking up a Dragon Blade. So, here comes Self-Destruct. It didn't kill us, killed 3 other people. It's alright, Mercy's got her ultimate. Oh no, Soldier's got Tac Visor, but we very bravely walk forward into him and start trying to kill him, and we in fact do so. Important thing to remember when you're playing a tank like Zarya or Roadhog, or any tank really, but like these are the two most prone to it. They aren't typically tanks that you think about blocking Tac Visor. If you can get up in that person's face, they can't shoot around you because you're in the way. So, us getting up in the soldier's face right there might be the only reason Mercy survived, because she almost did die, so if she took a couple more shots, she would have died. So, us absorbing a couple shots might have been the reason she lived. And Roadhog players especially don't think about this, but, like, you're a big, beefy boy as Roadhog. You can block shots, right? Like, it's an important thing to bear in mind. So, we got killed by the tire. I didn't even know the tire was coming. When did he use it? Oh, it got... Okay, it happened, but it was like... The sound effect was, like, covered up by Orisa using her ultimate. I barely heard it even then, so... That sucks. But... fight didn't go terribly. We lost Mercy and a couple other people, but Reaper is actually, like, doing work over here, so we don't lose, basically. And we've still got Graviton. We get back and, like, the fight doesn't even need Graviton anymore. So, there's a baby diva over there, apparently, but we didn't quite kill her. So their team is, the way things are right now, we've got pretty good odds, because they've got, at most, 2 more pushes in them. They could have 3, but they'd have to regroup extremely quickly, so unlikely. They've probably got 2 more pushes in them. Maybe only 1, if they take a really long time to actually regroup again. We've got Graviton still, which is, theoretically anyway, a guaranteed 1 team fight. So, we should only have to do 1 or 2 more team fights, and if we've got Graviton, it should realistically only be at most 1 more, because that should be enough to win at least 1 team fight. So, Mercy's using Valkyrie right now, so we can't really do very much about that one. We hold the grab for a really long time. We should have used it sooner. We were probably hoping we could catch Mercy with it as well. But, like, by the time we use the Graviton, we've actually already started losing some momentum during the fight. So, even though we grabbed a lot of people, we'd already lost some people by that point, including Mercy, which is bad. So, it ends up not really meaning very much, because now we still have to stagger back out here. At this point, we should change to a faster hero. Like, we should change... We've got a diva right now, I'm pretty sure, so we should change to Winston, just to get back there faster. or maybe Mei to, like, stall it out more, because, like, Zarya takes a long time to get back here, and Zarya doesn't have a very strong immediate impact in a fight, because you have to build up charge. Like, we get some coming out the gate right here, but, like, most of our team's already dead, and, like, okay, we get up to 80 charge, but, like, we're mostly dead by the time it happens. We'd be better off being a hero like Winston or, even like Tracer or Mei, just somebody who can stall it out for longer, if not get there faster, and has a slightly stronger immediate effect in the fight, because you can't even guarantee you're going to get out there and build up any charge as Zarya in that situation. So we end up losing the fight, which is very sad, and we also don't get to see play of the game, which is also very sad. So, I feel like this is probably the point where we had the opportunity to change the outcome of the game, is with this Graviton. Where would have been a better point during the team fight to use it? Because Mercy does that, so we're not going to catch Mercy anymore. Tracer we don't want to try and catch. We should have grabbed, like, right here, because we can still catch all the people we did catch, because they're coming up this way. D.Va's not holding defense. She's already held up defense matrix quite a bit during this fight. We can catch these people and these people. Tracer probably recalls out of it, but we'll catch 3 people with it. And we haven't lost as much momentum during the fight yet. And it might not seem like this is the biggest difference in the world, but, like, look at the fight by the time we do use it. We've already lost 2 people, and then we lose Zenyatta as well. It's, like, a difference of a couple of seconds, but it might have been enough to actually change it. It's unfortunate that the Mercy used the Valkyrie really early. Well, I mean, this is why you use Valkyrie really early, is so you can't get caught in the ultimate, right? Because if Mercy didn't use Valkyrie, it would have probably been the easiest money in the entire world, because we would have caught Mercy, and then this wouldn't have happened. Also, if we changed to to Mei, when we first had the opportunity to get back there and try again. This is finally my suggested videos. There we go. Are actually, like, somewhat relevant to my interests for once, because usually it's something weird like a Russian video and I don't know why. Anyway, if we changed to Mei at our after we used the Graviton and died as well, that might have gone better, because as Mei, obviously, we've got a lot more staying power than Zarya does, and we can stall it out for longer, maybe give our time more time to regroup, maybe it goes better, we'll never know. That happened in a different timeline, but Mercy did what she was supposed to do in that situation, basically, which is use Valkyrie really early, so she can't get fucked, and Valkyrie still lasts forever, so there's no punishment for doing it that early, which made it a lot harder to grab. If we grabbed slightly earlier, it might have made the difference, because if we grabbed a little earlier, the Junkrat might not have gotten the shot on our Mercy that killed her. But we'll never know. It's a very thin margin, and it happened in an alternate timeline, so we'll never know. But, well, you know, very sad, very sad. In general, really good Zarya game. Probably, no, like, better than your average Platinum Zarya, honestly, because most Zaryas are usually still walking around at, like, 30 charge the entire game. And we are walking around at, like, high charge a lot during this game, which is fantastic, obviously. It makes playing Zarya so much easier. Could be an anomaly, but Zarya is one of those heroes where if you can get charge reliably, you tend to do really well. And better than your average Platinum Zarya, honestly, which is where we're estimating you're at based off the people in the game that were ranked. But anyway, so thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you found the video helpful.